All right, so it was actually a Yasuo flex, but he can still block empowered Qs, and we're going to play... Flackett's going to play Yasuo with Senna, because Senna's going to be fasting, so Yasuo gets all the farm. We have good setup here for Yasuo ult. Mega Gnar ult sets it up. Shockwave sets it up, right? Huge amounts of engage and hard CC. Zeri is going to have a hard time staying alive in the spot lane. Zeri Rakan seems really terrible into a Yasuo that's constantly getting healed by Senna.
They have a lot of dive onto low mobility carries. Things like Senna, not really Yasuo, but Orianna. When these champions don't have their flashes, they're very susceptible to this dive. The Yasuo, though, is going to be super interesting to watch. Windwall can be great as an answer into Karma, because you can mitigate a lot of her potential ultimate as well. I think a win here would be so valuable for them.
Yes, Seju Q triggers Yasuo. Yes, yes, it does, because it's a knockback.
25% of scenarios left for them. Upset getting a ward in the bush down here. Karmine Core are going to take the long way round to avoid vision, then they'll path up through that tri-bush. Flackhead waiting here. Obviously has that.
Okay, Casey trying to get bot lane priority and prevent them from getting all in early.
Out of this one as the Demacian standard goes down. And Karmine Core will just start to retreat. Targamas likely just to get a ward over towards this blue buff, make sure they have any vision on Jankos as he goes through his path. No deep ward yet placed by Heretics. I wondered if Wonder would step in there and get one on the blue, but they have one on the red, so they kind of know where Bo is.
Now, if you think that it might shift.
I actually think the Heretics bot lane might be able to get the push. You've got Piercing Dark, you've got Yasuo as well, who can just walk up to the lane and use that wind wall that you talked about, and use his shield that regenerates through the fight.
Sometimes Yasuo start E.
I think you get the push if you're Heretics. It depends how aggressively Targamas and Upset can play, because Targamas can sack health for the wave, but obviously also depends on who gets there first. Very easy to win the push in the bot lane if you are there before your opponent. So we'll have a look down there as the lane does materialize.
Yeah, it does look like that they are getting the early push.
Yeah,
so
I think just Senna has the range. Yasuo also has pseudo range with his Q, right? True. So it's hard for Zeri to answer.
It's Rakan just can't do much.
Yeah, you can walk up and Q them and then like flip your feathers at them a little bit, but it doesn't really do too much.
Yeah, it's often usually when it comes to priority in the bot lane, it's usually determined more so by the support than it is necessarily the AD carry. There are exceptions to that, obviously, but good old days is guess what I would call it. I remember when he was originally on Vitality back in 2016 top lane. I remember he used to play a decent amount of Olaf back then. I think he played it even earlier, but truth be told, my memory of Cabo back then is very limited.
He played it in 2015 EU LCS Spring Promotions. Gambit versus Mouse Sports.
Yeah, I thought he qualified to the LEC in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, he went into the... He played one game in EU LCS Spring 2016, and then I think he just got subbed off a roster or something. So then, yeah, when it came back in summer. So for the moment, he's getting the push in the top lane, kind of to be expected with the undertow. You can just use that through the wave, and you can chunk out Wonder. Meanwhile, Chumbi and Flackhead pushing in this bot lane. So just trying to catch the minions as they crash.
He's done a good job of farming so far.
He's done a very good job of farming, right? That's one of the strengths of the Zeri. It's not actually too much threat on you as Bo. Looks towards the top lane. Wonder jumps away. Bo flashes, but he misses the knock-up. Bo's going to take an extra time. Bo still gets the kill.
Nicely done. Very nicely done. Yeah, the flash doesn't quite go the way that Bo wants it, but it doesn't matter. Cabo gets the kill.
And it's a wave lost as well.
Casey off to a good start with first blood. Good pressure being put down by Cabo.
They waited a long time to take turret aggro there.
Single creep off. He was very, very close indeed. But they make it work. Very nice dive from Casey.
Wonder TP's back up to the top lane there. Cabochard running the Ghost in the TP, so as the wave pushes into him, doesn't have to burn that summoner. Jankos was aiming down towards his bottom side. Targamas lands the knockup, but Flackhead's looking for that Steel Tempest, puts the wind wall down, and it's the power of Yasuo has that lethal tempo procced up as well. Targamas battle dancing back, but was interrupted and then has to use the second proc of it.
I mean, this is the frustrating thing with Yasuo's. They can just keep hitting you. the Q auto reset is just so annoying to deal with. And nice little knock up there from Flackhead, expecting Targamas to actually dash to his ally, and he interrupts it on the way, but fortunately for Targamas, he has the second one, so he ends up getting away to safety.
It's a little bit like Bard Q in that respect. Like, one of the reasons that Bard can be nice into a Khan is you just chuck the Q at the AD carry. It's like, okay, you're going to dash to him, or you're just going to take more auto attacks? Because those are your two options in this case. So Flackhead finding a good knock up there, just chunk out Targamas. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Zyru on the receiving end of a push from Sakin, but on as even pretty much there.
First pick Zeri, dude. I can't handle first pick Zeri.
Heretics.
So stupid. Especially on blue side. Holy shit.
Overall, though, very even start to the game with a small advantage of Casey on the top side of the map. Love that we see this proactiveness from Bo. Unsurprisingly, Yanko's just prioritizing farm for now, getting what vision he can to help his team out.
Bo can EQ across this wall, dodge the vision. Wonder has no flash.
They have information on where Yankos is. He's going to get here too late, though.
I mean, Wonder starting to get away from...
Is he going to get here too late?
Yankos going to join the fray. Double bounce from Wonder, but he's killed by the Dragon's Rage there.
Trimby's here.
Kill from Bo as the chase continues. Yankos has no flash, and the collapse from Karmine causes enough. Trimby tries to help.
All right, are they going to get multiple kills onto Cabo? Okay.
The ball is skewered by Karmine Corp.
Really nice pathing there from Bo. He's able to navigate through the vision. Wonder goes for a trade against Cabo. He's trying to push this wave underneath the tower. And then Bo just runs towards him. They see that Sejuani is on their way.
They also don't know that his Jarvan's EQ is down from going to that brush.
Immediately moves up into the river to help his team, guaranteeing a numbers advantage. First, Yankos is forced to flash away from his mid laner. Trimby tries his best to help, but it's not enough. And KC secure themselves 2 kills. Now Cabo is getting unleashed. 2-0-1 so far in the early game. The coach remains composed for now. We've seen KC get early leads before. The question is, can they convert it into a victory? Good start, though, with a 1K goal lead.
3 kills to 0, 2 grubs to 0. In a strong position. I'm seeing a lot of this take 2 grubs and then back away from...
More Swiffer suffering.
Team can't get the mites, can't get a 5 stack even if they did the remaining 4, so you just stop them having that little bit of extra push pressure. Also helps with dives, actually. Might spawn and can tank a couple of tower shots for you. That means that you can dive even when you don't have a wave there to help out. Yankos spotted again, clears out, well, uses the oracles to spot that ward.
It's not loading for me.
Sorry, has started the Drake, and Heretics with their push in the bot lane should be able to take.
Oh, there it is. Good. We'll use it. I added it. Thanks, Latvian guy.
Teams, kind of what we often see in terms of neutral objectives.
Overall,
so funny.
Early game. KC leveraging their strong top side. Not typically
That is truly the face of suffering.
you can kind of chip away at
That
him.
was one of the worst games I've ever seen of League of Legends.
Just commit to all inning.
Yeah.
And Bo just did a really good job in this early game of playing around Cabo to enable him to do just that. Which is why he currently sits
Despair no jutsu.
900 for now.
He's trying to like Vulcan mind meld with his team right there. That's what he's trying to do, guys. He's trying to execute a Vulcan mind meld with his players so they stop being idiots.
Obviously, the advantage of having Yasuo in many AD carry matchups is that you can farm relatively safely. The disadvantage is that you're not going to have this ranged carry threat, which is largely coming from Zvyro, but you need to find those committal, those hard-ins. You have to give him access into the fight to really get things going. Now,
All right, we're winning top side. We got grubs. There will be a small window to get 6 grubs potentially.
The full support role is going to delay those stacks a little bit and also those items.
It's really dependent on how well Trimby can farm his Absolution fragments, right? Absolution stacks. He's at 37 already, following the jungler around, just leaving Yasuo in that bot lane matchup 1v1, which Yasuo will navigate very handily. Upset here, could look for the lightning crash, but sides against him. This is the Ultra Shock laser, so doesn't get the slow. Trimby was working his way down towards the bottom side as well. He's going to continue to get stacks from the jungle here. This is what you see great centers do, is just really min-max how many stacks you're getting. Sometimes you do have to come cover your lane. You can see Trimby coming down here now. The wave is pushing in towards Blackhead and Trimby, so maybe they can maintain a freeze here for a little bit, which would give Trimby more stacks. But with Targamas coming across, Blackhead maybe just called for a little bit of help as Cabochard proxying this wave. Well, at least keeping Wonder away from his own tower.
Cannon lost.
Yeah.
The minus ones are going to be spammed in chat.
Wonder's been on the receiving end of this throughout his entire career, though, like so often left on the weak side by his team.
Do you think Heretics can do any damage in playoffs? I mean, I think they're pretty good.
Pushing towards them, so they can just wait for that to crash towards their tower and catch it as it comes in.
Doing a really good job in this 2v2. Credit to them. The center just offering that range and poke to make it hard for them to really answer. 44 stacks.
This Yasuo has been really good in the bot side. It's like a funny pick.
A good enough chunk for now. Obviously, I think
Just lose every trade. You try and go in.
From 10 to 20. Like if you can get to 80 stacks by
Push, create pressure, take Drakes.
Strong position. And we have seen Trimby utilizing his jungle well to just, Jankos' jungle technically, but it's kind of Trimby's, you know. All those souls there to be harvested by the...
They'll probably bring back perks for playoffs, though. Hashtag perks for playoffs.
Found him make a successful gank here. He did try to go top to cover for Wonder. Obviously, it ended up not going quite the way that he wanted. But he's in a pretty good spot right now. Night's Vow already completed.
Let's start a movement, guys.
Of this item in pro play specifically. The fact that you can constantly shift it on
Perks for playoffs.
Depending on the circumstances.
60-second cooldown just means if you're only ganking once a minute, just switch it on to someone when you go into the lane. Jankos yet to put it on anyone.
It's also just a nice spike, right? Nice, relatively cheap. You can grab that pretty early on. Finds himself at a small gold deficit for now, but on this tank Sejuani, that's not too big of a deal. Malignant's finished for the Karma. Is a pretty big deal for Saken. Sets him up nicely as we get closer to the next dragon spawn. The good news for Heretics is given that they've already secured the first one, they're probably not too concerned about having to fight for this.
Perks probably is an upgrade over Saken on Karmine Corp.
Scaling options.
Perks at least knows how to put sand soldiers and choke points on his ear.
What I like a lot about KC is what we talked about in the draft is the amount of backline threat they have. How do you stop this Olaf just running your Orianna down, you know? And then the Rakan, he has very easy access because Jarvan EQ into ult, right? There's just a lot of threats onto the backline that provide a lot of space for Upset to play. And then also, he's just not the singular damage threat. Saken has a decent amount of poke, but also Cabo Shard, as long as he's got someone with him, he can be a huge asset on the front line, especially if that Karma is actually playing for him. Goes back to the old Jugger Olafs that we've seen in the past, where we saw Jungle Olaf,
since we saw that,
and then Lulu support, right? And sometimes they even used to be Lulu mid. Do you remember that?
One of the most satisfying bits of farming I've ever seen was a triple stack wave under a tower, and a Lulu just glitterlanced them all, and you just saw the gold.
But we hopefully never want to see that again, because Lulu mid was not a fun time, Medic.
Just get her out of support. That's all I really care about. Interesting decision making from Karmine Corp. They see their bot lane getting pushed in, so they actually took another round of grubs. They took the third one of the setup, so we're going to have grubs spawn again in 2 seconds. I wonder if Karmine Corp, if they don't see anything really proactive that they can do on the bottom side, maybe just give up this Drake, accept that you're losing 2 dragons because you can't find the engage, your bot lane's constantly getting pushed in, and just go for 6 grubs. Does give you a bit more threat on towers as the game.
I don't know why Karmine Corp is so obsessed with like getting French players. France has a proud tradition of just getting foreigners to fight their wars for them. That's what the French Foreign Legion was, guys. Why don't they just recruit a bunch of not French people and then just give them French citizenship when they win the LEC? They'll be the French Foreign Legion of European League of Legends teams. Everybody will be French eventually, guys. You earn your citizenship through service. So I support the future French people. I should probably save this material for SI, guys.
The grand entrance, last embrace with the root, Trimby, Flackhead, and Zvaigzness. It's actually only 1 kill so far for KC as they've only taken out Jankos, but that means the jungler is dead. Zvaigzness flashes to the help of his team. Targamas and Upset forced down towards the bottom side of the fight. Trimby chasing onto Saken. Cabochard misses the undertow and gets knocked up, locked up in the piercing dark. Will find its mark. Heretics. Flash. The grand entrance, last embrace with the root. Cataclysm, but he has that control ward down to.
Do they offer citizenships to the football players in France to get them onto the French national team? Is that what happens? I mean, Trimby just no threat onto this back line. Oh, nice root.
It's actually only 1 kill so far for KC as they've only taken out Jankos, but that means the jungler is dead. Zvaigzness flashes to the help of his team.
So I just actually loop around and come back to the Drake, and now Cabo doesn't have ult, so he can't do anything. And they don't keep track of Senna ult, so they have no idea that it's up.
Heretics take the Drake after Karmine Corp killed the enemy jungle.
Crazy back and forth. Dragon ends up being secured by Heretics.
Caliste is a French ADC. It's almost 18, super popular in France. Yeah, it seems like Caliste, from what I've heard. I haven't seen him play, but seems like he's going to be good.
They collapse as 4, engage gun to 3. The TP then comes in from Cabochard. A little late from Wonder, but the flash Shot from Trimsy puts him in a safe spot, and then a quick flash from Flacket after they find that initial kill. Jankos, though, left isolated on the front line means that he then drops in return. It then becomes this poke battle back and forth where Casey's doing a good job. They think they've locked down Zvyro, forcing him to flash away, but now you look at the positioning. Upset doesn't really have any mana to continue to fight. They're going the long way round, and then Cabo, I think he just overforced this fight. He thought that he could go in, but that's forcing him to flash.
Yeah, Cabo's like, oh, I don't have ult anymore.
He then drops in return. It then becomes this poke battle back and forth where Casey's doing a
They didn't. I also think they didn't realize that the Senna ult was still up here.
Upset doesn't really have any mana to continue to fight. They're going the long way round.
Like, you actually can't do this.
I think he just overforced this fight. He thought that he could go in, but that's 4 members versus 1. They end up getting a kill, and Heretics end up winning the fight overall.
2 kills to 1, and a dragon as well for Heretics. It's a mountain soul for them, will help a lot.
France gave Joel Embiid citizenship to play for France in the Olympics in basketball, and he dipped to play for the USA. Yeah, because he wanted to win, probably.
Flanking this mid lane, looking to see if perhaps there's an opportunity for them. The Rift Herald now spawned, and it looks like Karmine Corp's priority is on taking that down.
So, KC did lose that initial fight, but you now have to keep your eyes on summoners, because the reason why Zvyro lived was because he could flash away from the Olaf. The reason why Flackhead lived was because he could flash away from the Zeri. The fact that they don't have those anymore means that it's going to be a much harder fight for Heretics to take. And I wonder if they'll actually just try to...
All right, so Targamas has flash. They should be able, as they're saying, as the caster's saying right now, get on top of Orianna and Senna, but they need to actually get into a fight, right? The thing is that there's no objectives to play for. So if Heretics is smart, they should just play back and farm up safely until they can actually go for soul point on Drake, and at which time their flashes will be back up again.
Pushing out that mid wave, it's going to be Trimby and Flackhead to match. Zvyro going down towards the bottom side and Wonder up towards top. So kind of symmetrical lanes with mid laner v mid laner, but Zvyro, he spots Bo, still gets knocked up. There's the quickness as well. Targamas looking for the knock-up afterwards. Shockwave comes out. Targamas still chasing forward. Jankos, Glacial Prison, but Targamas unable to tank it in time. The Cataclysm back onto the back line from Bo, but he's left for dead. Targamas couldn't eat the Glacial Prison, and because of that, Bo pays with his... But Targamas unable to be mid laner, but Zvyro, he spots Bo, still gets...
Doesn't actually matter if he dies right here.
As well. Targamas looking for the knock-up afterwards. Shockwave comes out. Targamas still chasing forward. Jankos, Glacial Prison, but Targamas unable to tank it in time. The Cataclysm back onto the back line from...
All right, Bo dies, though. So they get a kill even though they don't have anything, because we're trying to make picks without the Zeri. They have no damage.
It was just Targamas and Bo thinking that they had caught Zvyro out, but the rest of KC was not in a position to collapse themselves. So Heretics get themselves a punish.
And we said maybe Heretics just want to play a little bit more passively. Well, it was KC on the front foot, and it was Heretics finding the kill out of it. 1,000 gold lead now for them. Heretics trying to extend that by stealing away some of these camps. Trimby and Flash.
All right, so we're going to have flashes back up for the soul point fight.
It's not that easy. There's a lot of stacking on top to threaten that top tier 1.
So we actually don't get any flashes. So now Flackid, Zvyro, and Trimby all have their flashes back up just in time for this next fight. Of course they do.
End up TPing because they ended up having that fight. But he can just do exactly what he did last fight and just stay top and create this.
So flashes are up now.
Are you going to come match me top lane? Are you going to stick around, or are you going to go TP?
It's spawning, and Wonder is Mega.
TP to the fight. Maybe Wonder can even interrupt it. And basically he has
Mega's a little early though.
Wonder's Mega now though. Down to half the rage bar already. We'll time out if a fight begins in the next 30 seconds or so. Heretics trying to set up around the Drake. Yanko stepping in. Targamas has the quickness, has the flash. Rift-Herald used down towards the...
Targamas is only level 7 for some reason. Trimby's level 9. Why is Targamas level 7 at 19 minutes into this game?
Ooh, look at that damage on the Targamas.
Already, yeah, as you say. Good damage onto Targamas. There's TP in. Counter TP invested by Wonder.
Okay, Wonder has his rage bar building again.
About third right now. Looking to go in. The quickness goes, but Flacker the only one caught by it.
Cabo actually ghosts, but he's scared. All right, so we get on top of them, but there's no follow-up. Cabo isn't there. Nice! Gnar. Oh, right into the Yasuo. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's Massacre.
Bose survives the Drake though to Karmine Corp.
KC get completely wiped. I didn't quite catch how that combo happened on the backline. All I saw was Flackett flying in, connecting onto two members, and then KC just fell apart.
Trying to build up that Mega Narbar. About third right now.
So this is really weird because it's like a mixed call. So Targamas actually flashes in here.
Already, yeah, as you say. Good damage onto Targamas.
He actually just goes in with his ult.
Trying to build up that Mega Narbar. About third right.
Like he flashes in and Bo is looking for the engage right here. But I mean, the ult does nothing because there's no follow-up. Cabochard decides he's going to run away instead of just popping ult. They let Wonder get his Narbar back up. Bo then flashes in, gets three people, Flackett, Yankos, and Zwyru. But again, there's no follow-up damage. He EQs out of the pit to stop Trimby. But Wonder's able to flash in himself and just Meganar. Right? So you used Rakan ult and Jarvan ult to not get anything. Fucking terrible team fighting. Like, they're all on the different page. Like, Targamas is just like... Like, Targamas just, like, goes in randomly. And it looks like Cabochard's trying to follow up, but he doesn't actually commit to this. So Targamas just leaves. They go in. There's no actual follow-up damage. Where was Wyru's ult? It was right there. Where's the ball? Oh, the ball's right here. Yeah, so he actually gets a two-man ult, which then Wonder uses to just jump in and hit his own ult. So badly played. That's so badly played by Karmine Corp. That is fucking terrible.
All I saw was Flackett flying in, connecting onto two members, and then KC just...
Dude, Yamato was the problem.
Great fight for Heretics. They do lose the dragon.
By firing Yamato, they fixed the fact that they can't actually communicate and engage. Dude, Vedi, flame the shit out of these guys.
I want to see Zwyru on way. He throws this shockwave. The ball placement on the back line, then goes to shield Flackett. They're trying to find access into the fight. Good engage initially from... Oh, but there's the shockwave onto the back.
There's a shockwave into Gnar ult, into Yasuo ult. It's almost like Team Heretics knows how to pull off a combo, and Karmine Corp is very confused.
And being trapped into that choke makes it that much harder to execute. We talked at the start of this game, ultimately how it's going to boil down. And Heretics, they were able to get all their summoners back up again. They find another great fight. That engage from Bo initially looks promising, but if they have an ability to get out of it, then they're going to get out.
Yep, and they do exactly that. Even though Bo's able to cataclysm in, the backline was just shredded, as you say. Shockwave and then into the wall, followed up by Flackett. Rabadon's death cap second for Zwyru.
Zwyru.
More of a support than anything this game. 1-0, 0-1-7. Hasn't really been picking up the kills, but still a lot of damage to his name. Quickness in once again. There's the knockup with the cataclysm going forward. Targamas doing everything he can.
All right, so they got Trimby, but they had to use everything.
Flackett gets the knockup with the last breath, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Flackett dives forward. The shockwave.
Oh my God. Flackett. Oh God.
The lightning crash, trying to build up the stacks. Bo still gets
the Gnar isn't even here yet. The Gnar's coming. The Gnar's coming.
The shutdown down, the grand entrance.
All right, triple kill. Mega Gnar.
For him. Now Wonder joining the Barney a little bit delayed.
Yeah, you don't want that. He's about to go mini. That's finally a good pick for them. That's how these fights should be looking, guys. See, now they actually are able to combo the Rakan ult into the Jarvan ult with Olaf, and you'll see he drops the Jarvan ult immediately, just so the Olaf can charge through. This is how this team fight should look. But it just didn't look like that last fight for I have no idea what reason. I don't understand why they couldn't execute that same play at the Drake. And they just went in one by one doing nothing.
Heretics don't have the gnaw, which means that they can't really turn this fight around. Upset's able to get the cleanup, and he secures himself a triple kill.
Huge acceleration for the Zeri there as well. And you can see the difference between having summoners and not having summoners for Heretics. If they have summoners in that fight, you flash away from the initial engagement.
Himself a triple kill.
Huge acceleration for the Zeri there as well. And you can see the difference between...
I love that. We got to show the coaches. And then we found the cute, excited grill. We found cute grills in the audience, guys, so we got to show cute grills.
Even after the quickness has landed, and you're in a much stronger position. 2 items now on upset, Runans and Static Shiv. 2 items.
Classic production. Find cute grills, put them on camera.
For KC. But really, Heretics should have just tried to cross-map. They should have been fine abandoning that tower. I guess the argument is that there weren't really many of the towers for them to cross-map for, so they wanted to try and contest, but I guess they weren't expecting so many members of KC to be there. Either way, kill scores 9-9. The gold is about 2k difference. I still think this game could swing either way, especially given how strong Upset is right now. A full level over Flackhead. And the dance around the Baron already beginning.
A minute on the Drake, but it wouldn't be solved by the team. Obviously, Karmine getting the last one delayed. Heretics solved by 5 minutes.
Crucially, objective bounties are available. So that might not seem like a big deal.
It is a big deal.
But like it's a
also
really
surprising with
well, it's because in terms of structures, there's such a massive difference. 2 dragons, 3 towers, like
a dragon, 3 grubs, only 2,000 gold between the 2 teams.
I mean, I'm just trying to explain it, Medic.
Yeah, I understand your explanation. I'm just saying it surprises me slightly that with only a 2,000 gold difference between the 2 teams, there's objective bounties available. But for Karmine Corp, that's a great situation.
I mean, if they got Baron, it would like balloon them ahead.
Yeah.
So right now, Heretics is waiting for their flashes to be up again. Remember that these flashes are all super important, and they've basically been synced the entire game for Heretics, but they've been doing a good job of only using sums on objectives, which has been the big difference maker, guys. You know, as good as that fight was for Karmine Corp, they only get fights when there's nothing to take in this game. And so, you know, now that we're talking about the Drake again, possible Baron, like, now's the time those flashes are going to be up when it really matters.
Targa's going for the flank. It's Drake up in 10 seconds. Targa could sneak around the back here. He's cleared out the vision. Heretics realize this. They come around. They make sure the Targamas is not lying in wait. Good due diligence there.
No, they're really making sure.
I mean, you have to, because if Targa's like in the bush by the Gromp or something, he can just flank you, and you are absolutely doomed. He's spotted on the ward, on the turret. Now forced down towards the bottom side of the fight. Heretics can just look for Targamas here.
Why is Targamas on a flank?
He can just flank you, and you are absolutely doomed. He's spotted on the ward, on the turret. Now forced down towards the bottom side of the fight. Heretics can just look for Targamas here. Isolate the engage. Who cares if you?
All right, yeah, they blew his ult, so they don't care anymore. Now he's useless.
Really good due diligence from Heretics. Cabochard also is catching bot wave. Karmine Corp wisely give this up. Cabochard was not close enough. You didn't have a TP flank. Karmine Corp, couple of pings towards the Baron. Maybe Heretics look for it on the resets.
Yeah, I mean, KC definitely slow to that objective. Bit of a blunt.
Give up the dragon, he fought you, and you are absolutely doomed. He's spotted on the ward, on the turret.
Yeah, Wonder's at 50% Narbar too, so he's really dangerous to walk in. Yeah, he's mega. Yeah, really good timing on that Gnar transformation by Wonder. Okay, they got the Drake without actually having to use any of their sums.
They were very reliant on the flank from Targamas. Cabo obviously had the TP to join should a fight break out, but that fight was denied the moment that they sniffed it out. You call it, Medic, really good awareness from Heretics. They don't allow the flank to happen. And now we turn to a more neutral state.
The initial engage will happen. Heretics will flash away. Then does the secondary engage find enough Heretics members that you can kill them with Upset and with Saken, right?
It comes back to a similar story of the G2 versus Rogue match from earlier, which is that when it comes to any wombo combo, you either have to survive it or you have to dodge it.
Yep.
right? Because that's the bulk of their damage. That's how this comp ultimately designed to work. That's not to say that they can't keep doing damage afterwards, but when you have Karma Zeri, you think in a war of attrition they should have an advantage just because of their range.
Actually, the plot of the Matrix as well. Initially, he dodged the bullets, and then he just survived. True. So, Bo, though, caught out, didn't use the device, he's trying to get away.
Have an advantage just because of their range.
Actually, the plot of the Matrix as well. Initially,
It's a nice cancel by Jankos using Q. And Bo doesn't feel like flashing, I guess. He'd rather just lose Baron.
They should have an advantage just because of their range.
Actually, the plot of the Matrix as well. Initially, he dodged the bullets, and then he just survived. True. So, Bo, though, caught out.
Yeah, it's actually the shockwave that triggers the Yasuo ult there. So, because he doesn't flash.
No chance to move. That's a Baron unlock for sure for Heretics.
Cabashard coming in from the side as well. They do still have the engage of Targamas, and Cabashard running onto that
I think
back
with the
line.
Yasuo, they just melt this, no? Orianna,
They haven't
Yasuo?
spotted Targa yet. They do melt it, Betty. You're entirely correct on that, but Targa now spotted on a ward. Trimby forced off towards the top side. There's the TP in by Wonder. He's built up that Meganar bar. Targamas still just...
Okay, Cabashard goes in. Targamas flashes in.
suspicious.
All right, nice charm. Okay, they get into the back line. It's looking okay. Oh, the stopwatch cucks him.
The flash away from Zyro as well will keep him alive, and this is routing. Karmine Corp left for dead.
Nice stopwatch.
Heretics get 3 kills after killing Bo off earlier. Zyro's going to survive as well. They will get the Baron, and everything swings in the favor of Heretics.
A really nice
They got trolled by Armguard.
The flank from Targamas looked so promising. And
Yeah, it did look good.
The engage was good.
Because Nar's here kind of late, honestly. He was trying to build Narbar in the bot side. And so this is the combo. You know, the Jarvan isn't here, but getting the Olaf ulting with Ghost plus the charm into the back line isn't terrible, right?
There's nothing they can do to stop the Olaf, but the shielding, the Zon.
Yeah, Trimby does a good job of setting up his angle. Trimby plays this really well. He gets out, able to get the Senna ult. Stopwatch goes off. Flackid able to flash out. This is where having all those sums up really matters.
And the ult a really nice engage was enough defense to the Zonias.
Right.
And the ultimate.
And they just can't get enough damage onto Flackid. And Flackid's able just to orb walk his way out and kill the Olaf.
2 items. He's just gonna in a long enough fight. He's gonna be able to turn that one around.
J4 Olaf is fine here.
Great supporting
It's
from
good.
Ruby as well.
It's good at killing Orianna and Senna.
So dodges coming out from Trimby. Zyro just able to
Especially with the Karma.
now with Baron
They're
on
just
their
bad at
side.
executing it, and Bo got picked off.
Much stronger position. Remember, they got the Mountain Drake earlier as well, so they're on Soul Point. That's up in 2 minutes. As the Baron expires, they can turn their eyes towards that Dragon. TP up towards this top side as Zyro looks to join 4 members of his team that are up here. One left in
They didn't show the cute grills getting sad after that Baron was taken. I'm just deeply disappointed. Tarnish, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. If you're going to show the cute grills, you got to show them being sad too. That's the rule.
Gonna have to deal with this, or we just give up the tier 2 mid, which is what Karmine Corp are deciding to do right now. Upset will catch the wave as it crashes towards the inhibitor tower, but then Wonder can go down towards bot lane if he wants. Doesn't have the TP, more likely to go towards top to bolster his team's offensive on this second tier 2.
Oh, nice shockwave on the
Forsaken might just be dead.
Thanks, buddy. My brain is broken. Every time Casey is losing, my mind immediately goes, ah, the French. Why does Ibai look like drunk Orson Welles? The world may never know.
For how much longer will Karmine Corp be dancing? The battle dance out to Upset gets him to safety. Double cannon minions will chip away at this tower. Trimby will do the same. They'll wait for the next wave to come in, and this will be an inhibitor tower broken by Heretics.
Slackhead is a good Yasuo player.
Yeah,
I mean,
he has only won 2 of his 5 games on the stage with it, but looking to make it 3 of 6.
that was impressive what he just did there. I mean, because I thought that they had gone in way too deep.
Double cannon minions will Upset getting chased out by Wellens on this second tier 2.
Oh, nice shockwave on the
Forsaken
Seiken.
might just be dead. Dawning Shadow is
Wow. Yankos actually just flashes in on him.
2.
Oh, nice shockwave on the
Forsaken
Seiken.
might just be dead. Dawning Shadow.
He just flashes in with EW flashes on top of him. I think he Qs him after that. Yeah, he Qs him, which triggers the Yasuo lol. Lol. Any news on the next Into the AM sale? It will come this coming weekend. We'll do announcements on some of our shows this week. But there will be a sale this weekend for Into the AM. Ah, the French. Well, I need to soundboard that, guys. I'll soundboard that. I'll soundboard that for you guys. Ah, the French, so we can have it.
You greeted, you dived, you didn't need to. Just getting Saken's HP that low is enough, right? Because now he's forced back. The wave clear's gone. You don't need this kill. So
maybe somebody has already done it. Hold up.
Jankos flashes in. Flak is there to support. And at this point, I'm thinking he's dead. A really nice win.
All right, this might be loud. This is your warning, guys. This might. I do not know how loud this is going to be when I play it.
Ah, the French champagne.
Space between him and Upset, and then he isolates Cabo to deal enough damage alongside his mid laner to then get a kill as well. That was clean. Yeah. Flacker, that was clean.
Nice. Good job as well by Jankos. Flash, Arctic Assault, flash Q on the Sejuani.
Well, that was the part that I thought was greedy, Medic.
I mean, you got the knock of it. It's a call, right? There's no way he does that without Flacker saying, I can
I'll deal with this.
There's definitely a degree of
I'll deal with this once this game is over, guys. I have to get Audacity out. Arlinek, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. You appreciate the creativity I add to this stream with my fun soundboards, not like the rest of these gutter plebs who refuse to subscribe even with their free Bezos bucks.
No Baron on them, but 2.5 minutes might secure. Did they call? Okay, it seemed to work. Now on Soul Point, as you say, this would be Soul for them, Mountain us for them. Bow goes in, but Jankos doesn't miss those. Smite secure for Heretics. Bow pays for the attempt with his life, and now bot lane the target for Heretics as they can push this in. No Baron on them.
That pleb mode is absolute fire, by the way. It's so good.
It looks like Karmine Corp are just going to try and push out their waves in the other lanes. Mid their first prio. Can't get up towards top in time. Cabochard will go and answer that himself.
It's so funny because the way when you stack it up, the way Atan made it, when you stack up the plebs together, it like the plebs like all roll together and it looks like it's transferring from one box to the next. Calm on me. Thank you, my erudite friend, for not being a pleb.
This position, it's a lot better, especially now that they have the Mountain Soul at their disposal.
Just walks at them. Like, Trimby does so much damage. He's got opportunity humors. Look at this. Trimby just killed him. That was all Trimby. Jankos, get the hell out of my kill feed. You didn't assist on that. That was all Trimby
even
all
through the
time.
ultimate just to secure it as well.
150 stacks on the center at 30 minutes. And now the Nexus towers the target. The flash.
Trimby just flashes away from Targamas's engage.
Trimby is having an absolute purple patch as Heretics are looking to beat Karmine Corp. Make it into playoffs.
All right, guys, I'm gonna make that into. I need to hold up.